Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to get into this decisive game between Regicide as well as TM. Neither team has picked up a win so far in the OPL. And in Week 5, it comes down to the last game. And Regicide, they're bringing in Chen Xuan as their support, subbing out Decoy for Game 3.
That's quite a weird change, I think. I guess in the last game, Decoy didn't do too flash hot, but in the first game, definitely had a better performance than Chen Xuan did yesterday. So interesting change. We did speak to Vicarious earlier in the day, and he said it was a stylistic change, so maybe they want to go more on the aggressive on the bot side of the map. They said Decoy was more of a passive player. Yeah,
potentially. I mean, Decoy had a fine game on Grom Day. He was doing absolutely fine, but something else. I'm curious to see what Chen Xuan is going to be able to bring to the table. Really well known as an Alistar one-trick in solo queue coming into this. That's the first champion we saw him play in the OPL. It was actually first picked by Regicide on the blue side.
And it's going to be interesting to see whether TM had the same strategy going into him as Sin did, where they just gave him the Alistar and then picked something like the Thresh into it. Mind you, Regicide have banned Thresh every single game this series so far, so potentially a different counter pick, or potentially TM just respect it and do ban it away.
Potentially. Let's see what TM decide to do. Lee Sin's their first ban, with Camille being banned out by Regicide. No more creative, not allowed.
Don't want that one. This game is for bragging rights. Like, everybody wants to get the win, but nobody wants to be sitting on 0 wins at the bottom of the table. So both of these teams haven't got one under their belt yet.
I mean, for TM, it gives them a good buffer away from Regicide. They'll be 4 points in 7th place, and Regicide would be 2 points.
Yep.
For Regicide, though, it would make them tied with TM, and they would have the head-to-head against TM Gaming. So that would propel them to 7th place.
As they do ban away the alley, and on the other side, they do ban away the Galio that they flexed. They flexed that game. T-Gon did have a good performance on that. It did allow them to get a lot of picks in the jungle. It opened up Only's pathing.
I know why T-Gon plays it now. It looks exactly like him.
Well, he's just a unit.
Big, strong dude.
Yeah, he's a big unit. As they do once again ban out Shock's Orianna. Seems like he is not getting that champion in the OPL ever again.
Jarvan being banned out. So these are just entirely target bans from both teams. That's absolutely hilarious. All the overpowered lethality champions are left up. Jace, Kha'Zix.
Well, it's more so the junglers. The desk was saying that... actually, no, this is the first game in this series that the Kha'Zix has actually made it through. And Fade is opting into the first pick on the Kha'Zix. But yeah, as I was saying, all of the S tier or the A tier, wherever you want to place them, tier junglers on this patch are getting through. And also the Caitlyn on the other side.
With all these target bans, the incredibly overpowered champions are left up. I don't like the Karma pick, but it's going to be 3 games in a row for TM.
I mean, it did work out for them in that second game. They flexed it into the mid lane, and Shock did look to have a decent performance on it.
Ooh, and Chen Xuan picking up the Thresh.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Xayah Rakan is available, is a fairly decent matchup into the Caitlyn, because you have both the early skirmishing and the ability to all-in. You do get outranged in the matchup, but they don't opt in for that one. The Thresh into the Karma.
No, it's not happening.
Not blind pick, surely not. Surely that's a bit of a disrespect hover, as they do give him a cheeky laugh. They do lock in the Renekton.
Yeah, for ZCC very early into this pick ban phase. That's hiding their 80 carry and this mid laner. Curious from Regicide. Now TM can pick whatever they want into the Renekton. Or they could always go back to a jungle pick here and hold their top lane support for the last 2.
Only did have a very good game on the Rek'Sai last game. Stole away a couple of the buffs and did negate the Elise matchup very well. That is a Rek'Sai favorite matchup, so did very well there. And they did opt to not counter pick the Renekton there, and instead did blind pick their jungler. Oh, sorry, not blind pick, but they did take it. So on Regicide's side, probably going to look to pinch the top lane pool, potentially ban away something like the Gnar.
You'd have to
these bully
expect
matchups, yeah.
Gnar, Kennen probably will go as well.
Jace potentially, but
yeah, Jace getting it all the way through here. Neither team picking it up so far.
Well,
instead they banned Shock's Zillion.
Interesting.
Bit curious about that.
So it's going to be, I think, a Karma mid again. Unless he goes back to something like the Syndra. If Regicide do the same thing they did last game, they're going to ban away the Cassio here, as the Callista is banned away. Smart answer. I think.
Still decent 80 carries left up. You can always pick up Xayah.
Tristana.
Still up.
All of the 80 carries that are up will get outranged by the
Jhin
Caitlyn. So
still left up as well.
Jhin is actually, Jhin is a very good matchup. They do ban away the Callista because of the Callista Thresh synergy there. Would be a very potent bot lane in terms of skirmishing and ability to fight them in the lane. They do stick with the Cassio ban they did last game. So instead of pinching the top lane pool, the biggest counter pick Gnar, that we did mention, is getting hovered right now, but they instead focus on shock. So
most of the time, CZ does not care about
yeah,
counter picks.
He really does not. Has he blind picked all 3 games this series now?
I think so.
Yeah, because
he's his rock.
He's played the Maokai into the Camille. He's played the Gragas into the Camille now, to less effect. But now he's in the Renekton versus Gnar matchup again.
See how that one goes. Regicide have to show their hand here. 80 carry and mid lane left.
And they are holding the flex still for the Karma. So Blitzcrank, potential pick for T-Gun.
Varus is the pick of choice for Regicide.
Interesting. Very interesting. You get outranged by the Caitlyn, so you shouldn't win the push war, but your level 6 all in with the Thresh is very good. Gives them more pick potential, and they do have an assassin jungler in the Kha'Zix, potentially an assassin mid laner in the Ahri.
That would be a big throwback.
Yeah, so the extra CC coming out of Varus, they do lock it in, will be very useful in the mid game when they are looking for picks. There's already potentially like a mini Gnar is a pick target, and you've got the Karma if it goes mid lane, and you've got Caitlyn as well. Potentially T-Gun picks up another pick target for the assassins already, so
let's see what the final pick is going to be. Karma mid lane, or is it Tegan's champion this match? It seems like it's going to be Tegan's champion. A Shock picks up Syndra into Ahri.
So both side lanes for TM should be pushing in these matchups. The Caitlyn and the Karma should push on the Thresh and the Varus, and then the Gnar should be able to bully around and push on the Renekton. So it's interesting to see which side of the map only will play towards.
Some very strange drafts coming out here. No Jace being picked by either team.
Well, Jace is more of an Oceanic special because it has a lot of... People fear the Jace in Oceanic, like the likes of Claire against us in the first game. Yeah, that was a bit painful. I don't like that one. But overseas, it isn't being picked too much, and not a lot of priority is being placed on it. But not a lot of priority being placed on it in this series either. But in other ones in the OPL, he does get banned and picked.
Oh, we do get to watch Kha'Zix. That's going to be fun because he was permanently banned in most of the series so far. Curious to see how Duskblade Drakthar has helped him, because you'd have to think with the way his ultimate works and interacts with Duskblade, he'd be a very strong champion at the moment.
Absolutely, and even the synergy with the Thresh, he can jump on these targets, jump on the Caitlyn, jump on the Karma, on the Syndra, and he can catch the Lantern on the way out, like jump in, use his only dash, get the burst off, get the Duskblade, and then take the Lantern to safety. So some pretty niche synergies here on the Regicide lineup, and I do like it. Yeah,
going to have to see how this one plays out for them, because this is for all the marbles, Ejim. Winner takes all here, get 2 points, and they propel themselves into 7th place on the ladder. TM's support and captain Tegan as well, fighting for his first victory in a year in the OPL. So
you're just rubbing it in. Salt in the wound.
It's not bad.
I hope he gets it. I don't know. Oh, that's a classic Thresh. I haven't mentioned skins today. I've done well to hold back, but what is that? There is a Dark Star Thresh skin, and Varus is purple. There's a Dark Star. No, what do they do? That's come on.
What's wrong?
There's Dark Star skins for both of them, and they both use classic.
What's wrong with the classic skins?
No, you don't use classic skins.
But Faker uses classic skins.
That's a classic skin. Yeah, but we're not Faker. He's too good. I'm not in a position to criticize Faker because he's just the best player to ever exist.
I mean, we've got Oast Faker, Big Tim Wendell.
Oh, yeah. Nunu 1v1 monster. Absolute prodigy.
Oh, boy. But, yeah, everyone just fanning out across the map so far, trying to scout out for vision.
Yeah, not much going on. The bot lane matchup, as they do look for an invade on the top side.
Jump on his face. Go. Kill him.
T-Gon went for the Ignite, so interested to see if he did go for the Thunderlords again. He did take it in game 1, or if he does go for the safety of the Wind Speakers, which as the Masteries come up, he does. So he's just looking to peel his team here, looking to keep the Caitlyn at a distance and use her range advantage. But I was saying the Thresh matchup with the Ignite means that level 2 is very important, so TM's bottom lane probably won't be leashing for only this time, and you're probably going to see the same for Regicide. They're both going to start in lane. They both want to contest the level 2 as TM take a cheeky look at the Raptors.
See that they don't start there. Assuming gets a good push to kick off the mid lane though, whereas Fable gets some help from ZZZ. It takes quite a bit of damage in the jungle Kha'Zix.
Yep. And because Regicide's bot lane did start in lane, they can assume the top side start as well as the Renekton leash. Has a bit of fury going into that lane, so should be fairly obvious. Both junglers starting on the same side of the map.
So there's that push coming out from low as well as Tegan. Good flay back though from Chen Chun. Gets decent damage down onto low. playing this lane so well so far. Let's see if the aggressiveness of Chen Shen will be able to come out in this match.
And Chenny Boy did opt for the Doran's Blade. I haven't seen him take a Doran's Shield on this patch, actually. He's already getting bullied by this matchup. Oh, that was a play.
That's not good. Tegan now going to have free
yeah.
access, just running straight forward in their face. Pops level 2. Instant flash from Chen Shen. Does not want to deal with any of that damage, and he's still taking stuff from low.
Yeah, he burns the Mantra W on the Thresh and gets immediately flashed away from. So good respect out of Shenchuan there, but T-Gun doesn't get the second part of the heal there, so he does take a lot of return damage from Chenny Boy. Because the heal from Karma W, obviously 20% initially, then another 20% when the stun lands. And
disgusting.
It is disgusting, especially when that that phase of top lane Karma with Iceborne and...
Ooh, that was fun, but T-Gun is in trouble. He's been forced to flash away as well. Ignite was burnt by Chen Shen. Chenny is taking quite a bit of damage. Both AD carries opting into the Blade here today.
Yeah. Oh, he uses his jump.
Gonna get jumped on by Only now. He wants to take this fight as red buff and a Rek'Sai against Fade. He's going to smite the red buff to get some health back. Looking for the blast combo. Nice. Only predicted. He goes over to the wall. Flashes on top of him. Chen Shen with a hook, though, will save his jungler. Chenny Boy wants to try and collapse, but Tegan will lock him down with the W. Now Only's got his eyes set on towards him. There is a teleport coming in nice and early. Fade jumps over, gets first blood. And now the Renekton, Interior Crocodile, Alligator picks up the kill with Chenny Boy.
And TM just overchase into the jungle. Only really nice pathing out of him there. Catches Fade on the red buff, predicts the jump over the wall, but then gets caught out by the hook from Shenchuan. Didn't have the lantern available, was only level 2, but ZZZ with the TP. In a losing matchup already, he does sacrifice a lot. Praedyth gets to push this lane into his turret, so he's going to lose a bit of CS here, and he does base and pick up the double Dorans and a pink ward, so does get an assist for his troubles though, so helps out his bottom lane, who in that situation before Only got that invade off was a very good situation for the team's bot lane. They have the Kate Karma, and they can use their range advantage. Thresh had burnt both of his summoners, no ignite, so the all-in potential wasn't too great, as there's a big trade in the mid lane.
Ooh, tick-tock.
Yeah, so the passive slow scaling lane for the poke lane of Kate Karma would have been heavily in their favor, and so that all-in and that TP from ZZZ does help out the bottom lane of Regicide quite a bit, in my opinion.
Praedyth teleports back to the top lane. ZZZ dices on in. Tells him he doesn't like his presence in this top lane.
Only looking for a repeat
again.
On the... He's spotted by that ward.
Fade will pick up his red buff, and in fact is a level ahead of Only. Only had a good predict to go over the wall and try and catch out Fade, but backfired heavily.
He won't be happy.
Came back. Fade wants to go for a gank mid lane. That's a lot of damage on the shock.
Only won't be happy that he had such a nice read on Fade, catches him in his red buff, and then Fade ends up jumping into the last second for the kill. As big trade.
Yeah, ZZ more than happy to go toe-to-toe against Praedyth, despite the fact that he's a level down. Takes a big return from that boomerang thrown out by the Gnar. But Praedyth has to be careful, because as ZZ flashed on his face, that's a dead Gnar. He's going to go back to base. This wave's going to be frozen. Absolutely.
And yeah, Renekton has the sustain from his empowered Q with the Fury. He gets the heal off, so...
Ooh. Don't do it, Praedyth.
Only is floating and Fade is basing, so that's the reason the Praedyth is staying. He wants to get this wave pushed in. Elects not to. Only's doing his golems. They don't have vision of Fade, though, so they don't know his record, so they can't opt into this 2v2 fight where they know Praedyth would just get flash stunned by the Renekton, insta-gibbed with the Kha'Zix, so this freeze will hold.
Triple Z is a fun top laner to watch. You tell him he's going to lose the matchup, he'll win it somehow. Cheeky. Chen Shen's going to step up. Flay only connects onto low. Flash is available for Caitlyn. Still gets tagged by the hook. Good damage come out from Chenny Boy. Ignite is ticking as well. The arrow doesn't connect. He's forced to flash out. Heal not available for the Caitlyn.
Now that he's just not getting mega punished by Juves on the Zac, the aggressive side of Shenchuan here is coming out. They're looking for a lot of fights in this bot lane. He's basically used Ignite on cooldown. That's 2 times in a row as they get that cheeky sit in a bush strategy. Get the pick as TM's bottom lane return to the lane.
Yeah, the old Reginald strategy. Just burn Ignite when it's up. Get the extra 1080, 10 AP from the Mastery.
What's that? My laner used a potion. Half the healing. Bam!
750 health for you only. Meanwhile, touch side of Matt Praedyth has come back in. ZZ wants to be aggressive. Oh, he flashed on him. Does get him out. Can't hop away anymore. Fades up here as well, and that's going to be an easy kill for Regicide.
Very decisive play out of ZZZ. We said he used his advantage for the bottom lane, but takes it right back. Praedyth should be winning this matchup, but is now falling behind. Does not have the TP to get back to lane. Is down in CS in a counter-pick matchup. So, very rough times for him. Only on the bottom side of the map. Can't get an answer as he is spotted away by this pink ward.
We'll clear it out, but still, that's scary. The lane's going to reset top side of the map. Praetor does not have teleport to get back up there, and ZZZ is coming back up shortly.
And that's 2 kills for an accelerated Kha'Zix. Already level 6, is looking to counter juggle on the top side of the map. Was looking at the red, but not quite available there, as the junglers do trade rates. But this Kha'Zix was banned away the entire series, and now it's come through, and Fade is actually doing a lot of work for it.
Doing a good job on the champion. Let's see what items he goes towards later on. You'd have to think Duskblade is going to be the first pickup after Warriors. But we'll see. For now, he's taking away red buff from Only.
Only does see him with the passive very soon, and the ward. Does concede it, though.
Oh no, this is a disaster. He's going top lane.
Radiant has no flash.
Double dice will be available for ZZ as well. It is up. His stun's up too. Just waiting for the Q to come off of cooldown, but Praetor's playing so safe. Now he goes in, jumps in. He only get 1 hop. That's a dead Gnar again. They're picking on him. Praetor's going to fall. Can he go mega in time? He can't.
Very close to being able to turn that one. The Mega just does not proc. As you said, only gets a single jump, doesn't have the ability to use it over a creep, and they are looking to pressure this topside turret. And ZZZ is alive and healthy and has TP to answer any bot-sided play that Only can make. So very good trade for Regicide here. And we mentioned that ZZZ was on these tank matchups 2 games in a row and had a good performance on the Maokai, not a good performance on the Gragas, but now that he's got this this early game pick in the Renekton, despite being counter-picked, is doing a lot of work, and they do share the turret gold.
Yep, that's dirty. First turret picked up by Regicide. Only wanted to go for a gank. Bottom lane can't get in there. And they're just fine down here. Regicide are going to hold their own. About a wave behind the low, but that's it.
And this would be a very frustrating game for Only, because he had a good read on Fade, but then ends up overcommitting, does get punished, and in that situation we just saw there, he wants to make a play on the bot lane, but he knows that they have TP advantage. Gnar was dead. He wants to go catch that wave and would be in mini form if he answered, so they didn't want to pull the trigger on any sort of dive in the bot lane. Thresh Varus are hard champions to dive now that they've procced 6. They were only level 5, so wouldn't have had the stun out of Varus. No box out of Thresh, but couldn't do it anyway.
Big Adam leave for low, though. He's got a pickaxe against the Vamp Scepter for Chenny Boy. So he's going to hurt more, but Chenny Boy will sustain up quite nicely now. Mid lane Shock against Human. Shock's doing well in this mid lane matchup. Setting 2C as the 58. Did not expect that. But Regicide definitely commanding the lead at the moment against TM. It's about 2,500 gold in their favor, and their top lane is getting absolutely crushed by the camp being put down by Fade. Yeah,
and unfortunately for TM, they do have the winning side of the map on the bot lane, and the Riot gods have not blessed them with an Infernal Drake. They've got a little air Drake. It doesn't do a whole lot of anything.
Makes them run fast.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty good for Caitlyn. I mean,
they could go zoom.
Yeah, you can zoom around the map. You'd probably rather just do more damage, but especially against skill shot champions like the Thresh, like the Ahri, it's not awful. And in terms of macro, it does make a tiny difference in terms of being able to move around the map slightly quicker, as the junglers are going to probably find each other here.
I think I'm one of the few people that just does not like the elemental dragons at the moment.
Why not?
Because if it's not an Infernal, it's not fun.
Just it feels bad?
Just it feels bad. Just doesn't... Of course, the cloud, the ocean, as well as the mountain give you good advantages, but it just doesn't look like it.
No, I'm a big fan of playing Tahm Kench and getting a mountain dragon.
Oh, boy.
And then 20 minutes, you recall, 19 minutes 30, you spam ping the Baron, and then you bring your 80 carry, you ulti into the back of the pit, and they won't have it warded because it's solo queue and it's only 20 minutes, and you one-shot it with your jungler, and you win the game. Or the flip side of the coin is they do have it warded and you lose the game right then and there. But I mean, we don't talk about that, so that's fine.
So if you're playing against Egypt in solo queue, ward Baron 20 minutes when he's on Tahm Kench, free game, free elo.
Whoopsies.
Yeah, just giving away your strats, mate.
I'm an idiot. As Fade is soloing the not Earth Dragon, he's taking the Air Drake for his team. So
yeah, if that was warded, free game. TM.
Oh, no, it's not the Baron. What do you mean? Oh, as they do burn the flash. He didn't have the tunnel.
Yeah, tunnel into the wall there.
And ZZZ applying a lot of pressure on the top side of the map. Does force Only to tunnel away there, flash away.
Praetor's still keeping up in CS, but you want to be ahead on this Gnar matchup. Not happening right now.
Absolutely not, as they're looking in the bot side of the map.
Snuck around those traps. Still gets tagged by 2 abilities. Fade's like, okay, that tickles a little bit, but I'm just going to hit this turret.
Both top laners do have TP, but Gnar is nowhere near Mega, and Only's on the top side of the map, so Low and T-Gun tentatively contesting the wave. Big chunk of that bottom lane out of there. Only could start up the Rift Herald here, potentially, if he wants a solo. They have mid-priority, but potentially looking for a dive also.
Let's see what happens. Fade was recalling, and now he's just moving towards the bottom side of his jungle. Only will take Wolves away from the Kazakhs. Hook goes wide. This turret's going to take some damage from Chenny Boy. Tether being thrown down by T-Gun. He just takes the Dark Passage back to safety.
Just don't throw it. Sometimes, T-Gun is a big proponent of this. Sometimes the most aggressive thing you can do with a hook is not throw it, just because the potential of landing it is more than actually landing it, right? So if he holds that hook, then Chenny Boy gets free access to hit the turret, so they're going to have to use another wave to push this in. Giving time for TM to start up this Rift Herald, but ZZZ is going to check it. It's very low.
Oh, does he do it? ZZZ wants to try and contest Rift Herald all by himself, pulls the big buff away, only still wants to hold onto the aggro, but passes away, and Praetor's just like, I'm going to chill in the back of this bit for a while.
Almost gets the reset as they do use the box in the bot lane.
Yeah, something happened there.
Yeah, Varus has no ulti, so they look for an engage there. Onto T-Gun, I assume, because he has no flash. Would have flashed away out of the box. None of the walls were procs, so he didn't get hit by that, but they are just looking to take away this turret still.
That's going to fall easily. Picked up by Regicide. 2 turrets to none at the moment, and 4,000 gold lead. Shock moving into mid lane against Human. Good charm comes out as well as some damage.
And this mid lane has been fairly even and fairly safe. Not much of anything really has happened. Both players happy to farm up. Syndra happy to farm up, get her items to scale to one-shot people. Ari wants to get into the mid-game where she can start using vision advantages to get picks off around the map on all the squishy targets. So
their gold is dead even, but it's the top lane in jungler. 1,000 for ZZZ and a bit more than 1,000 for Fade at the moment. Bottom lane, 800 gold in Chenny Boy's favor.
And something Spooks will be really angry about is Fade's choice of mastery. He's a big proponent of the Thunderlords on Kha'Zix is a thing, and whenever he sees...
Stormraider Surge, not good, but they're still going for a fight of the Shock. They delete him from the map. Good night!
Blows the flash, uses the cleanse on the hook anyway and dies. And nobody's really around. The bottom lane from TM did base, so they're walking towards the mid lane, trying to get a defend. No wave, so they will hold it off, but that's a big chunk as they have flipped the map, and ZZZ has walked into the bot side of the map.
Yeah, putting Chen in this game, paying off so far.
Absolutely.
Got the Thresh pick. A lot of target bans from both teams has left these powerful champions up. But ZZZ again on Renekton, going up against his counter matchup, doing absolutely fine, has done wonders for Regicide.
And I mean, you were talking about how Regicide and their lack of growth in the last set. This bodes really well for them because now they've got 2 different support players who have both had really good games. Mind you, this one isn't finished, but so far, Shenchuan on the Thresh has had a great performance, so confidence-wise will be good for him. And then Little Decoy, obviously, on the Rakan. Absolutely great performance in Game 1. In terms of having a 6-man roster or something like that, being able to substitute players in and out is hard for a team to plan for. Makes it a lot harder. You have to deal with 2 different champion pools, 2 different play styles. So very good going forwards for them for the rest of the season.
And they'll definitely be looking to try and pick up a win here today. TM, they've taken it to certain teams in the OPL, even in matches they've lost. And it looks like they were going to be able to pick up their first victory before this match against Regicide, and most people thought that this would be a 2-0 for TM as well. But Regicide putting up a great fight so far off the back of a abysmal performance against Sin yesterday.
Definitely not what people expected. Throws a hook just for fun.
It's a bit of a, I press Q because I can.
Doesn't use too much mana. Steps on a trap for fun also. Seaman doesn't like fun, obviously.
No, he's a big serious guy, Seaman.
He never looks happy in the player cams. You can see him right now. He's
it's all business.
Yeah, all business on the Ahri. He's actually very renowned for his Ahri.
Regicide are now going to look to try and pick up Rift Herald for himself. Fade does a lot of damage to these neutral objectives. It looked like he wanted to leash it back out of the pit there. Chen did not care. He's going to stand there and whip at it. It's picked up. It's actually picked up by someone.
We need to stop making that joke.
There was this random team that didn't pick it up, but meanwhile, he's been caught out. Double stun coming out, pops the ultimate, goes invulnerable and flashes away. Chencho streaming down. Hook goes wide, but it doesn't matter. Damage is done, and Steelman gets a kill.
And you can see it on his player cam. He's disappointed with that one. Knows he shouldn't have been there. Burnt the flash, tunnel over the wall, still died. Juked the hook. Mechanically did everything right, but still dies.
Oh, hello.
Yikes.
They do lock down the Caitlyn, though, and a stun comes out of ZZ. Rift Herald has been popped. Lowe's going to fall. Ignite is ticking. Steelman gets another kill for himself. And Regicide are looking to try and push through to the inhibitor again.
Great play out of Regicide. Chenny Boy with the flash ulti into the flash Renekton stun. That's a big chunk of damage. And
Charm on TikTok, he's going to fall. Z gets that kill.
Oh.
Praetor goes Mega. Nas one back, but he still dies. And Tiga does no damage on this Karma.
Yeah, this time actually procs the Megas.
He's charmed as well. That's going to be a dead man walk, and Faye gets that kill, and Rift Herald charges again towards the Nexus turrets.
Does proc his Mega there, still dies, and this is just looking like a game one all over again. Drop the mid, the Rift Herald in the mid and just take an inhib. This is 2 times in a row.
Sub 20 minutes.
Yeah. It was 17 minutes 40 last time, I think, and now 17:10
Oh no.
Talk about improvement. That's a 30-second increase.
Only getting charged up there. Charmed up, I should say, sorry. And TM lose their inhibitor turret mid lane as well as inhibitor. They are now 8,000 gold behind Regicide. 17 minutes in. Disaster.
And great play from everyone on the team. Fade, small thing going unnoticed is the fact that he knew his team's limits. He knew that they were going to get the picks there and he didn't need to be involved. And he starts channeling the Rift Herald already. And they get the engage here. Flash done from the Renekton. Locks them down. They look onto the Syndra after that as Na is coming on the top side of your screen. Rift Herald is about to do the biggest headbutt you've ever seen on this turret. And they look to defend in a 3v4 situation. That's a lot of damage, and gets charmed onto Syndra, instantly dies. Praetor desperately trying to hit his Mega Gnar here, just gets it at the end, but Chenny Boy does have aggro and the heal, so he lives through that. ZZZ was not tanking the turret. We'll see him and just doesn't miss charms. That's 3 in that fight right there.
This is why he's known for his Ahri.
Absolutely. Great Ahri player. One of the few mid laners that sticks with the champion despite it not being actually meta. And Ahri is one of those things that is always kind of niche. She always gets a little bit of play every now and again, but is rarely like the best pick on a patch, is rarely like the Syndra, is just like, oh, like...
And when she is, she's nerfed the next patch.
Yeah. Ahri's a very obnoxious
Get
champion
that out
to
of
play
my
against.
face.
Yeah. But see him in one of the players that sticks with it. See him a lot in solo queue playing this champion. Obviously a Ahri connoisseur, likes tails and things.
Yeah, I don't know about that part. But meanwhile, Dustblade of Draktar has been picked up by Kha'Zix to go with the Warriors enchantment. ZZZ going very aggressive on his Renekton. Black Cleaver into Blade of the Ruined King. You're laughing already, Jim. What's so funny about that?
Oh, nothing. I just really like Blade of the Ruined King.
You like it on Renekton?
Yeah. That's an aggressive choice. Into the Gnar. He wants to win the split push despite him not... I butchered that one. He shouldn't win the split push, but he really wants to. So he's opting in for no resist for the team fight. He wants to go for the ball.
Yeah, it's a crocodile holding a gunblade. I don't know how that one works.
Yeah.
How does he shoot it?
What do you call crocodile hands? Like, he doesn't have hands. Are they, like...
Are they claws?
Claws, I guess? No, but claws is like what's on the end of your fingers, right?
I mean... Yes and no.
I don't know. That's too hard. Moving on. Pause.
Meanwhile, Praetor's going to gnar ZCC back towards the turret. He's at about half health, does not care. Rest of Regicide now group up. That's a dive, just straight up into the tier 2. Chuncho flashes back, gets the hook, landing onto only Praetor, sacrifices jungler for his own life, and Fade in the back lines, looking for another double picked up. He jumps away deeper into the base. He's gone to the fountain. Gonna have a little bit of a shot right behind here. Picks up another Doran's Blade for himself. Ooh. Ultimate comes out, but the Peacemaker did not connect. Shot, nice misses the first, gets the auto. One more is gonna be enough, and shut down, picked up by TM's mid laner.
Regicide are just all on the same page here. You see the Varus ulti, and then immediately followed up with the Thresh flash in, gets the hook onto Rek'Sai, and the entire team flashes forward, getting that engage off. T-Gun was just caught way too far up there. They should be conceding that tower. He was already at half HP. He had no business being there. He's playing Wind Speakers, Mantra E Karma, and he needs to not be in the front line because for that exact reason.
But he's in the front line, and it's not looking good for TM now. Regicide on their way to their first victory in the OPL. 9,000 gold up over TM, 20 minutes in, and they've broken one inhibitor turret. Only 2 inhibitors left standing.
And I bet you Fade's coming out of this really happy with himself. He's receiving a number of bans thrown his way, and then the one time he actually gets Kha'Zix, absolutely popping off with the Storm Raider Surge. He's got his Dustblade doing a ton of damage, jumping into the back line of the team fight there. Almost one-shotting Praetor in his mini Gnar.
Speaking of which, Praetor only sitting on that Black Cleaver at the moment. Blade of the Ruined King picked up by ZZZ. He wants to fight. This Renekton does not care about anyone.
And it's kind of a testament to the fact that TM are losing this game. So they're behind, so they don't really get to pick their fights. But Praetor has not been Mega Gnar in a single team fight yet. They have not done a good job of waiting for him to be able to build his Mega Gnar in a side lane. And as I was saying, yes, they are losing, so there are less opportunities. They do have less control, but not even once has it happened. It looks like it's making them suffer a little bit. He hasn't been very impactful. In this counter pick is getting bullied around by the Renekton, down in CS.
Ooh.
Regicide supports like running over to like the enemy blast code. And, you know what I mean? Like Decoy was Rakan Wing over the wall to hit it backwards.
C-plant, hit plant.
As we do see on the left side of your screen, only starts channeling his base, but he is sitting here for a flank, looking for a fight. If they do rotate towards the Baron on the side of Regicide, Ari's just going to face check him.
I mean, he could be looking for a steal at least.
I'm surprised he's not pulling the trigger and going on the Ari.
Ari's coming up.
Oh, he goes the aggressive way, walking forward. They should know he's there with the Tremor Sense.
Teleport coming in from Renekton, so this is going to be Regicide pulling the trigger. Praetor does not spot that out. No vision yet, and Suman deletes Tegan. He's not having a good game. 0-4-0. Baron has been started. Only is waiting the wings, now spotted out by a ward, but Shock gets obliterated here. He's forced to flash. Suman's just going to continue chasing. He throws out the ultimate, gets good damage. Praetor might be able to return one for the team. Regicide's mid laner goes down, only for the steal. Can he do it? The hopes and dreams of TM not going to be kept alive as Barros gets the Baron. Shock falls to Fade. He wants more kills. Jumps straight on low space. Hooked up by Chonchad. Triple kill for the Kha'Zix. He wants the Quadra, but it's going to be taken down by Chenny Boy. And Regicide ace state of mind.
Chenny Boy steals his kill there, but Fade absolutely popping off. T-Gun just face-checked the Baron. There was no pink wards in any of the players from TM, so they had no way to get the vision control. Only was sitting in that top lane Tribush for so long, so close to getting the steal. I think it landed on about 80 HP. Regicide probably could have held that a little bit higher, possibly at the 3k mark, but they did get the Baron in the end, did win a team fight. They're looking to take down the inhibs.
Yeah, Fade's bloody 9-1-4 with Dustblade and a Phage picked up already on top of that. Warriors moving towards top side of the map. Mid inhibitor's going to be the first one that goes down here. Regicide working on top lane inhibitor turret. Praetor is going to come back up soon, so Regicide do back off. They've 12,000 gold up with a Baron buff.
It's really funny that ZZZ is just one of these players that does not care. Like, he's always been that wildcardy, play whatever champion he wants sort of guy. And he picks the Renekton, gets immediately counterpicked and ends up having a great game here with the help of his jungler. And it kind of just speaks to how Regicide play as a team. Seaman also on the Ari, not that meta. Still playing the assassin junglers like the Kha'Zix, not that meta. We haven't seen any of the Sejuanis, any of the Cho'Gaths, or we did see the Maokai in the top lane this series, but...
It almost feels like ZZ's one of those guys, you tell him, hey, nah, beats Renekton. Why'd you still pick it? He's like, no, Renekton beats him. You just got to get good.
Bork Renekton beats. No, it's like, as he bases with his 1,400 gold and picks
BF
up...
sword.
No, picks up a cutlass. Yeah, he's going BF sword.
Probably going for that GA next.
Yeah.
Absolute monster. Regicide now going to work on their third elemental dragon of the game, another ocean.
T-Gun is building the Macau's Crucible here.
Slowly.
Yep, very slowly. Has absolutely no assist to his name, so is starved of gold. Also, he opted in for the Spell Thief, which is an interesting choice in the Thresh matchup as ZZZ
just decides to try and 1-on-2 TM underneath their turret. Praetor's going to continue this chase. Very scared of the Renekton. He flashed on him earlier. I believe he's going in again. As soon as he dices in, Praetor gets scared, forced to back out. He's going for the fight. Oh, gets started into the wall. Praetor outplays him.
Praetor once again picks up a 1v1 outplay on a solo laner.
Uh-oh, but here he comes. Fade jumps at him. Gonna try and take him down. Turret will fall first. Only comes through, but it's good night, Praetor.
Yeah, Kha'Zix gets the reset on his jump there. Already has the wings on his health bar because he's sitting at 10-1-4 right now as they're looking for the bot lane inhib. Thresh Hook will be the go button. Oh, will be the Varus ulti that actually misses alongside the Thresh Hook as Fade is just taking this.
They're just throwing abilities at him and hoping they hit.
They've got such a gold lead that it doesn't actually matter.
Yeah, all the inhibitors are now down. Super minions as well as Baron buff minions marching towards the Nexus turret. 17 seconds on Praetor to come back up. Hook lands, Tiga's in trouble. He's going to get locked down here, taken out by Suman. And he'll get his first assist of the game as they get a trade on towards Fade. But they're not done yet. Regicide, Hook, only lands into a cannon minion, only dodges that one out.
Because ZZZ died and Praetor has just respawned here, they will hold for another round of pushes, but they are down 3 inhibs and the Baron will time out, so they do have to deal with 6 super creeps on every single wave from every lane pushing into their base, and they do have decent wave clear. Gnar can clear from range against the Renekton, and Caitlyn Syndra is okay, but it seems to me that Regicide are just gonna push up, grab their buffs that CMN's doing right now.
It's almost a 13,000 gold lead though. I don't know what they're meant to do from here. TM, only their Nexus turrets left, and one of them's already quite battered.
Battered and bruised. Can you bruise a turret? It's a man. He's holding up like a.
It's a man.
Like
the turret's a man.
No, he's holding up like a staff. It's like a big dude. It's like a summoner.
Statue.
Yeah. Oh, that's the word.
A tower.
There he is.
They call it a tower.
Look at his staff. There we go. He's living. He's alive. He's bruised. Oh, not him. No. He's fine. The top one was bruised. There. Oh, there we go. He's bruised.
Oh man.
As Low walked past it, give him some moral support. But
oh, those turrets are eventually going to fall here as Regicide look to push for a victory. Way far ahead from TM at the moment. 12,000 gold up. Only comes up to help Prade to try and clear out this top lane minion wave. Keep it out of the base for now, but slowly, once Regicide crash in, it's going to be much more difficult.
And that's the word. You said it slowly. They're just slowly pushing in all 3 waves.
What are Crocodile's hands called? Their feet, Egypt. They have 4 feet.
It's so true.
Oh, Regicide now going to look to try and push against the nexus of TM. TM have to put up their last stand here, but it looks nigh impossible. Hook goes out, connects onto a minion, and TM try to look for the engage. Ultimate for Varus whiffs. Chetty Boy gets knocked into a gnaw. Good knock-up coming out from Prater, but ZZ charges on in. It will be Nana that falls first, only falls shortly after. Hook goes wide again for Chen Shren, but Faye jumping into the back lines. Good damage on Tiga's. Tumor charging them down as well. Low forced to retreat back towards the fountain. Double Nexus turrets fall. Low trying to put up a last stand. Tiga's going to go down as well. Ace picked up by Regicide, and they take the game 2-1 against TM.
And Faye looking to farm his KDA there, gets KS'd at the end there, but that was about the best fight that TM could have hoped for. The Varus ulti goes wide, the Thresh hook goes wide, they land a Syndra stun, but the gold lead was just insurmountable at that point, almost 13k, and Regicide just clean up the base, clean up the healthy and bruised Nexus turret, and pull out the series 2-1. Gets them off 0 wins in the OPL.
Yeah, pushes them up to 7th place with 3 points on the ladder at the moment. TM, unfortunately now at 8th place with only 2 points. Oh, sorry, no, they're 3 points as well, but don't have a single victory in the OPL.
And you did see Fade on your player camp just before it swapped to T-Gun. Very happy with himself. Had a great performance on his Kha'Zix. First time he got it this series and finished something like 10-1, 11-1.
T-Gun, however, the rest of the team looked quite devastated after that loss.
That's the year.
Oof. 1 year without a victory in the OPL. Bit harsh for T-Gun, but hopefully TM are able to turn things around because 3 of their games so far, they've picked up map victories and had much more impressive performances than games they've lost than the games they even won today against Regicide. But Regicide really stepping up today. We finally saw Chen Chen play a bit more aggressively and wasn't locked underneath the turret by Juve. So hats off to them. That worked out with substituting their support. Yeah,
absolutely. And as you said, it's substituting their support. They've now shown that both players are very capable in their own right. Their coach did give away that they changed them for stylistic changes. They want to decoy as a defensive one and Shen Xuan as the aggressive one, and definitely showed it there. Flashing forward, using Ignite on cooldown in lane, beating up the Kate Karma there. Very good performance. Yeah, it certainly was a very good performance, not only from the supports of Regicide, but also the entire team picking up a 2-1 victory. To break down that series a bit further, let's send it back to the desk.
Thanks so much, Fish. And that is going to be TM falling to Team Regicide and the first 2-1 victory for who were the formerly 8th place team, now jumping up to 7th. Juves, though, I know that you have some praises for some coaching staff, but also some criticisms for maybe someone else.
I'll start with the positive. I'm really happy with Regicide's coach, actually. So I think my thought process was that they saw that they were picking Karma every game, right? And then in the last game, Regicide coach thought, okay, we have a Thresh player on the bench, let's just sub him in. They subbed in the Thresh player, and I think he put in work into the bottom lane. My negative thing is you put yourself in the best place to win from pick ban. I'm not saying every game's won or lost from pick ban, but you can definitely give yourself the best chance to win. And I feel like TM's pick ban in this whole series was less than optimal. They're first picking Karma. They're playing all sorts of champs that aren't even strong in the meta. Karma, Galio support, it's not the best. It's okay, but I just feel like they didn't really put themselves up for success. And I think their pick ban in particular has to be looked at.
Yeah, I think, pretty suspect, you'd have to say. Blind picking that Karma over and over again. We've seen around the world that that's just dropped off, with the likes of Thresh being such a potent answer, setting up early ganks as well. And then, even you were mentioning as well that they kept denying him the Kha'Zix because obviously Fade is a threatening Kha'Zix player. We were looking at his win rate, something insane in Challenger and solo queue. And then in the last game, they're just like, oh, okay, yep, we'll just let him have it. And then he just did absolute work that game.
Keep going, Jules. I can see you want to keep talking.
I just don't understand. I really don't understand. Kha'Zix is like one of his best champs. And I'm not saying like the bill and end all is an OPGG check, but like it is very obvious that this guy is very good at Kha'Zix. Like if you're willing to ban his Lee Sin, which I think is terrible in this meta right now, you should definitely ban his Kha'Zix with the lethality buffs.
Yeah, I mean, just I guess like adding onto it really is that TM, I guess to their credit, they did have like a sort of a little plan to play around early. Only had a pretty good early read on the jungle pathing. He invaded on the bottom side of the map quite early, and he gets him low. He makes him like jump out, and pretty decisive, I guess, for only to follow him through the flash forward. But it's just a really good collapse from Regicide, and this is what like sets Fade up, from what probably should have been a really bad situation. They expend a lot of summoners, but ZZZ gets the early teleport, and then your first blood goes over to Fade, and that's just something you just can't afford, I think, in this matchup. Kha'Zix is definitely going to start scaling when he gets like items and levels and things like that. And a 2-minute first blood is just so punishing.
And how good does it feel when you've been invaded, and even your top laner, level 3, teleports down and sacks a wave juice? That's got to be pretty good if you Fade there.
That's respect. That's respect to my top laner. I'm going home and I'm going Uber Eats menu and I'm buying him something. But shout out Uber Eats. When you get first blood on Kha'Zix, like you base for like your longsword, you probably get 2 longswords because you just started the jungle, and then all you want to do is just walk into Rek'Sai. Like the matchup's over, like it's done, it's cooked. You can't do anything as Rek'Sai anymore.
And I guess they did return the favor. They were able to put quite a hard camp on Nut. I know that you really appreciated that. When you get counterpicked, you do have to return the favor. He's already teleported bottom. He's able to get in there and influence top.
Yeah. And it wasn't just influencing top. So Chen Xuan played a really good game, and there was a play where he tried to make a play, he gets picked, but his team capitalized around mid lane. And as you can see here, so Chen Xuan gets picked, that's fine. Regicide were all ready to collapse because they had leads in their lanes. They could just group with the Herald and pretty much ARAM. And they're just too strong at this point. Kha'Zix is too strong. ZZZ was just like insanely strong as well. And pretty much they just use Herald to brute force the tier 2 tower. Once that tier 2 mid tower goes down, you lose so much map control because your minion waves are then bouncing into the tier 3 tower, and you just have no vision control whatsoever.
Yeah, and what's really nice to see as well is that like Regicide clearly they're not struggling with nerves at all at this point. They're playing that dive really well. They juggle the aggro super well. We all thought, I thought I think ZZZ was going to die at the end, but then Chenny grabbed the aggro sort of thing, heals him, gets out, and they just played confidently, and that dive was just really, really good.
And the difference between Regicide in game 1 and 3, where they were making these proactive plays, not sitting in the 1-4, not letting TM bring the game to them, but making these plays, even when a member is getting picked, was like night and day. They were a much more confident team.
I always say if you have 5 members making a bad decision over 3 members making a good decision, I'll take the 5 all day. And that's what happened there. Sure, it probably wasn't the best decision to go for the pick on Syndra. He died, forces it into pretty much a 4v5 on the map, but they were already all committing for that play, and it was just a 4-man just go. And that's what happened.
How do you get that trust in a team?
I mean, we sort of said changing supports doesn't build it, but credit I think definitely pay respect a bit to Vicarious. I think he's doing a bit of work with his team. They seem to be synergizing quite well, and I guess it's just like repetition. Just like continue doing the same things, like just building up those small bits of trust. Trying something new, and then seeing how it pays off.
All right, cool. And I do want to point out who I thought was actually the MVP of that last game. I'm going to bring up a profile on Fade for you guys, because this is someone that when Regicide promoted in was their mid laner. He's a very high elo player. I mean, people know that he can play solo queue, but he has had a negative stigma as a solo queue carry going around. And today, I think he finally shows that he is a legitimate threat from that jungle position.
Yeah, like I said, you give him his champion and he's going to pop off. There's a reason people ban champions against him. I would just like to see, I guess, this kind of Kha'Zix play transition into other champions, and then I can definitely see Regicide winning a couple more games.
Yeah, I guess I'd have to echo the sentiment. I think that he had a really, really good performance on Kha'Zix, and he was he tested. I guess like he pushed his limits quite well. Like he did die a couple times towards the end, maybe going for a bit of a KDA farm, but he played that assassin Kha'Zix really well, and he punished the squishy members of like the Karma and the Syndra on TM.
Yeah, but I guess whilst we're singing the praises of Team Regicide, you do also have to take a look at the flip side. I mean, where to here from TM Gaming? They were able to take a game off Legacy. Their spirits would have been very high, but this is a shocking defeat if you are the TM Gaming squad, and they're hard to swallow.
Yeah, I think it comes a bit back to their preparation and how they've read the meta and what their coaching staff is doing, because we're seeing their drafting priorities. To be honest, just like nearly garbage. I really can't support a lot of decisions they make in draft. And then I think as well, when you look at like Shock's champion pool, that seems to be a clear issue with teams just pick banning around that. And I think that it does make it makes it very hard that when they're going onto the Rift and they're nearly always at a deficit from draft and how they have to play, it's going to be so hard for them to pick up any wins.
There's way safer blinds that have been played in every region in bot lane than Karma, so that's one thing. It seems like they're always going towards that 4-1. And I just feel like, I don't know if it's all the coach's fault, but I definitely feel like they need some champion versatility. I don't know where it comes from, if it comes from just grinding solo queue and practicing champs, but for me, they just don't seem to have a safe blind in any role right now. Like, there's actually just no safe blind if they ban out mid lane champs. So it's like, they have to decide who they give their priority to. Because if you can't pick a safe blind in any role, you're actually at a really bad spot from pick ban.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it looked like today. The second matchup we wanted to keep an eye on was going to be that top lane matchup. I mean, it was definitely ZZZ game 1. Prater hits back game 2, but ZZZ in game 3, into a counter pick lane, was able to still put in work.
Yeah, and it was kind of, that duo of Fade getting top lane, helping him out, making sure that he wasn't just suffocated out from early laning and stuff like that. He really delayed Prater's item build. He didn't get the early Jarum's Fist, Ninja Tabby sort of thing to shut him down. And then we even saw ZZZ going like that cheeky Blade of the Rune King build where he was going to have a little bit more like 1v1 split push pressure. And I think that, ZZZ played really well in what was a pretty bad matchup.
That game 3 was pretty much how I saw Regicide taking a game. So I predicted TM to win 2-1. And that game 3 was exactly how I thought Regicide would win one game in that series. And I think that if they kind of identify that as their strong point and keep doing that sort of stuff, like punishing the top laner for being over-aggressive, punishing the top laner for trying to match, I guess, carry for carry, then I can definitely see them on the upwards after today, especially with the confidence that they'll get from this win.
Yeah, it was certainly a fantastic win coming out of Team Regicide, so congratulations to them for that. However, I want to move over onto a Twitter question now. It is going to be what our thoughts are on Kayn and why we don't see much pro play. What are your thoughts on this? It's from Vex Scream. I have a very polarizing opinion. I know you got one as well.
So I've played a fair bit of Kayn, and the way I look at Kayn is he takes a long time to become relevant, because for him to upgrade his form in solo queue, it's really easy, right? You can just run around hitting people and upgrading your form. Whereas in competitive, it's not always skirmish. Sometimes you'll be 10 minutes in your jungle without hitting a champion. And Kayn, without the darken, I think it's darken
form,
the red darken form, he's useless. If he has to upgrade to the blue form, which is Rast.
No, blue is Kayn and red is Rast.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. So if he has to upgrade to blue form, he actually offers next to nothing, in my personal opinion. If Kayn can get an early darken, like red form upgrade, he's actually useful, I think. Like, he offers CC. He has he's like a pseudo tank when he ults onto a tank, gets all of his HP back. But the problem is, it just takes way too long to ramp up.
Yeah, I guess he's just like not that reliable, right? And we're seeing most junglers right now are those like champions that are just like, especially in competitive, it's gonna be like the safe scaling ones that are always gonna have CC. They're always gonna have a team fight, and there's nothing that you can really do to like shut them down incredibly hard.
Yeah, if you want to actually see someone talk about it, I think really eloquently, Contracts, who's a Cloud9 jungler over in the NALCS, actually said, I played a lot of blue form. It's fun. It kind of sucks at the moment. It needs a buff. Then I played red form, and you either get it like 11 or 12 minutes, or if you're, as you're saying, you get a successful gank on like, the AD carry, it actually penalizes you because then you get a 3-minute delay on your red form upgrade, which makes it very punishing. He said, however, that he does like picking it into slow clearing tanks. If it's a carry jungler, he won't pick it. If it's a slow clearing tank, he will.
Well, that's how I see Kayn. He actually does well into tanks because he gets to scale and he does % HP damage on most of his abilities. The one thing I would say about Kayn is you kind of need to build some HP or offensive items. And if you're versing a Kayn, the last thing I would say, if you're versing Kayn and you really don't know how to punish it, I would say pick a kind of early skirmish jungler and just run into him in the jungle. He can't trade back if you have a strong 1v1 champ.
All right, let's go a little bit deeper. I mean, people at home, they do watch this for a little bit of education. What runes do you run? Is it the 19% attack speed page?
I like the 19% attack speed with 8. I think it's 8 AD.
Yep.
8.5 AD. 4 armor, 120 health per level because your clear is insane. Like, you can start rates. Always start rates on Kayn, by the way. Always start rates because you just 2-shot rates and you get level 2 quickly, and then from there you just want a full clear.
Yeah, and cool. Also, Hex Drinker into Tabbies, jungle item,
yeah,
Black
I
Cleaver.
like Red Smite. I think Red Smite, you get Red Smite Warrior, you can 1v1 the split pusher in any game. So I'd go Red Smite, Warrior, Tarbies, maybe Hextrinker if you need it, otherwise Black Cleaver.
And this is why he is the 600 IQ jungler. However, guys, we have one more game coming your way. After these highlights, we're going to watch Legacy take on Abyss Esports. Don't go anywhere.
Eyes set on towards him. There is a teleport coming in nice and early. Fade jumps over, gets first blood. And now the Renekton, Interior Crocodile, Alligator picks up the kill with Chenny Boy. Charm on TikTok, he's going to fall. Z gets that kill. Praetor goes Mega, Nas one back, but he still dies. And Tiga does no damage on this Karma.
Yep.
But that's a dive, just straight up into the tier 2. Chuncho flashes back, gets the hook, landing onto only Praetor. Sacrifices jungler for his own life, and Fade in the back lines, looking for another double picked up. He jumps away deeper into the base, he's going to the fountain. A Shock gets obliterated here. He's forced to flash. Schumer's just going to continue chasing. He throws out the ultimate, gets good damage. Praetor might be able to return one for the team. Renicide's mid laner goes down, only for the steal. Can he do it? The hopes and dreams of TM not going to be kept alive as Barrows gets the Baron. Shock falls to Fade. He wants more kills. Jumps straight on Lowe's face. Hooked up by Chunchen. Triple kill for the Kha'Zix. He wants the Quadra, but it's going to be taken down by Chenny Boy. And Regicide ace takes a mine. But Fade jumping into the back lines. Good damage on Tigas. Tumor charging them down as well. Low forced to retreat back towards the fountain. Double Nexus turrets fall. Low trying to put up a last stand. Tiga's going to go down as well. Ace picked up by Regicide. And they take the game 2-1 against TM.
Whilst an OPL game lasts about 30 minutes, it's generally won from a series of plays that only last a few. Hi guys, I'm Jake Spawn Tiberi, and welcome to the War Room. We created the War Room to dive deeper into set plays, high-level macro, and solid team communication. But sometimes you just have to sit back and watch people get outplayed.
Blue team double kill. Rampage.
In Game 2 of Regicide vs the Chiefs, Regicide had fallen down 4,000 gold in the first 11 minutes. Desperate to fight back, they get a pick on Chief support Ejim in the river before trying to force it down mid. This is the right play. With only arrow down on Chenny's Ashe, and in a 3v2 situation, Regicide should have the advantage. However, due to some micro mistakes, Swiffer is able to capitalize, and along with some help from his Shadow Spooks, pick up 3 clean kills. As Fade and Decoy approach mid, Swiffer cuts off the choke with Cassiopeia's Miasma. This forces Fade to take an incredible amount of damage and burn his flash before committing. Notice how Fade also tries to weave in an auto attack after his body slam. This allows Swiffer to flash the cast. Now it's time for the Chiefs duo to go aggressive. Swiffer lands a 3-man Cassiopeia ult, stunning all Regicide members, while Spooks tags Fade with a Sonic Wave Resignating Strike combo to pick up the first kill. Spooks then ward hops behind Suman's Victor, Dragon Rage kicking him back towards his turret, and weaves in an extra auto attack for the double. The Chiefs duo then turn their attention to the lowest priority target in Decoy's Braum, where Swiffer picks up the final kill. This whole time, Swiffer was able to keep up Noxious Blast Poison, allowing him to spam Twin Fangs. This play was enough to help secure the victory, pick up number 4 on this week's Penta, and frankly, just look sick. Here Regicide took a shot at slaying the Oceania Kings, but ended up falling on their own sword. That's it for the War Room. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you next week.